All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful evening. Today is a very special watch list because tomorrow is a Liberation Day. And there is a lot riding on it. So not only do we have the non-farms on Friday, but we have a very big week. And tomorrow there is going to be a lot of different outcomes. I'm even telling you what I even wrote down on the keys. There is one outcome that I wrote down, and I said, buy puts, don't even think about it. That's what we're getting into. So this isn't going to be a short watch list. If you are looking for that, look elsewhere. You go tell the wife that you gotta watch this right now, and tell her that we're going out to dinner though this weekend, okay? Because that's what I'm saying. You have an opportunity, and I hope that we execute on it. The long term will provide, and then we'll see what happens here in the short term. But we have a lot of different things that we need to talk about. So I have the keys. I have the breakdown. If you don't realize where we are right now, again, we're coming into this event. We're starting a little lower, and depending on what we get tomorrow, this can really change the landscape of things. So I'm going to go into a lot of depth, but to give you a very basic starting point, I think this chart really sums a lot of it up, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the details of what's good and bad, but quite simply, reciprocals, VATs, all of this stuff we've been hearing, it's going to lead into an overall tariff rate tomorrow. We're going to get these details, and shortly thereafter, some tariffs will be implemented immediately, and then others are going to still have a future date negotiation and all of that. So that's what we're going to go over. I'm going to go over the basics, what you already know. Then we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and I'm even going to highlight the specific sectors and a lot of things people aren't talking about. And then we're even going to talk a little bit about the data, a little bit about the non-farms, and I have a couple of plays for you, and definitely about 3 scenarios that tomorrow or even really after tomorrow you could determine bullish, bearish, really good, really bad or not. And I hope you'll be able to get an opportunity. So, Chad, we have all that. I got the plays, the keys. You already know. So if you're on the recap, you're going to have to bear with me. But if you're here right now, baby, are you guys ready? I'm telling you, I nerded out. We have a lot of stuff that we need to go over. So I don't know what y'all looking for this evening, but good evening, baby. What up, Tim Whitman? What up, Blave? Mr. Malone. Screaming Cantology, baby. What's going on? Dr. James Cash. Mr. Malone. What up, Johnny Stalin? Noah, Alyssa, Most Dope, Tiffany. Oh, Benny, see you made it, baby. What up? Enrico, Noah, Zero. Oh, what's up, baby? What up, Braille Talk Crows? Oh, my goodness. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? So take it all in, man. I love y'all. Oh, man. Get ready. So I hope I don't hype you up too much because I guess here's the good news, bad news. I have to start. Honestly, don't let me hype you up too much. Remember, don't derive too much pleasure being for or against. But here's the deal. Tomorrow is the big day. Everybody knows this, but now here's the catch. It may not really be the big day tomorrow. And what I mean by that is that all of the action is really going to be happening on Thursday. So take everything I'm sharing with you today. Everybody is going to pretty much finalize their plays. And then after the bell tomorrow, that's when the announcement happens. And here's the deal. It was announced today or yesterday that it was going to be at 3 p.m. Now it's at 4 p.m. They specifically moved it back, and the market will be closed. So tomorrow is still going to be one more day of anticipation, and really, I think all of the rumors are going to be hot. And what do I mean by that? You're going to hear a lot of people say, oh, we heard that this is going to be announced. Or you may even get Caroline Levitt or somebody coming in ahead of time and they could announce something. That tomorrow will probably be a big event if we get any early confirmation to any of these announcements. Other than that, though, the real trading of this event tomorrow, it's going to be reflected on Thursday. So make sure you get an extra day of time at the very least. So it kind of reminds me of earnings, where literally you wait till earnings after the bell, all day everybody waits after the ballot reports, and then the next morning you get all of the crazy reactions, the analyst and all that good stuff. So hopefully you understand that. But now here is the next big development that we have to talk about. The way that Wall Street is looking at this, like we talked about yesterday, the base case is negative. Most people think tomorrow is going to be bad. Why? Because uncertainty. That's it. It's not really seen as an event where I still think you're going to be having a lot of questions, and Wall Street has viewed that as uncertain and bearish. But there's another idea that's kind of going around. If you don't want to be as fearful, long story short, tomorrow is going to be a springboard and not a clearing event. Some people were hoping, myself was one of them, it was kind of looking like we were going to get the tariff announcement and then that would clear all of the risk, and then everyone would be like, see, it wasn't that bad. Now we know. Now we could react, and then pretty much uncertainty dies down after you clear the event risk. Now, unfortunately, there's still a lot of questions, a lot of rumors. The market's still at low. Uncertainty in the way people are feeling, even the sentiment, it's all very poor. And again, the data, you're getting a real big pull apart, hard data and soft data. This isn't really the environment where that's going to be a hard ask to get a clearing event. So I still think it's a possibility, but the good way to really look at tomorrow, it is a springboard. There is going to be a lot of different things that are going to be jumping and a lot of alternative reactions. That's why today on this video, we have to talk about a lot, because it's not just this or that. It's this, that, this, that. If this happens, then that could happen. If this talks about that, then this could bring up this. This country could be affected. It's very, very complicated. And here's a simple way to look at it is essentially tomorrow we are going to send a big wave of information and data out to the world, okay? And then we're going to see what comes back. Some things are going to bounce back good. Some things are going to bounce back bad. But that's where the market and people are trying to view this event. That means you're not getting an answer right away. Like I showed you with that chart to give you an idea, I think you're going to send out a lot of things tomorrow. We're going to get a lot of different details. Some things will have an immediate effect. Some things will have a delay. Some things will be open in negotiation. Some things will not be as open. And that's something we got to talk about. Dude, we don't even know how to negotiate. So I think that's a good starting point. And what do I mean by that? Let's start with the first topic. Again, tomorrow is all about reciprocals, right? I'm sure that sounds familiar. All these countries that tariff us, we are going to tariff them. So we'll see how it all plays out. But when it's all said and done, everybody is getting tariffed tomorrow. Okay? That is what everybody is pretty much aware of. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. Essentially, everybody that has a tariff on us is going to get tariffed. So essentially, there is a very wide scope. Now, people have talked about it, even some of the rumors. Trump was saying there's like the really bad trading partners. That's where a large amount of the tariffs will be focused. But generally, everybody is going to be getting tariffed tomorrow, and it's not going to be a small group. And now here is the deal. One piece of the information we're going to find out is how we're calculating these tariffs. This is something really big, and this is where people have doubted Donald Trump in this plan so far, because they're saying, how are you going to figure out how to tariff who, exactly who, what, when, where, and why? How are you going to implement that? When are you going to implement it? And what is the calculation? That is a difficult thing to calculate. What factors go into it? What's not going to go into it? And then again, this is the other part. Are you guys ready? I think this is a very important thing. You've heard back and forth details, but do you realize this will be a source of info tomorrow? You don't know the exemption process. So he is going to announce all of these different things on all these different countries, either the bad trading partners, good, and then everybody in between. We're going to find out how it's calculated, but then we're going to find out about the off-ramp. This is very important, because that means now, depending on whatever carrot he starts to dangle, that's how we're going to be able to see, oh yeah, that's possible, that's not, that's bullish, that's bearish. But this is going to be your off-ramp, and we don't even know if it exists or not. So we're going to find out all those details. Be on the lookout for this. The exemption process and details around that, it's unknown, and I think that's going to be important moving forward. And then there was this weird talk this morning, and long story short, you've heard a lot of people talk about VAT. Yeah, that's not really that crazy, believe it or not. I know that may sound wild, but the digital service tax, and if Trump tries to do something as aggressive as shooting back at the EU and tariffing these digital goods and this carbon stuff, that is a shot at the European Union. Long story short, if you hear something aggressive towards the digital service tax, that will be an escalation. That'll be bearish. That'll be bad for the European Union. But this is one of those other big developments that we'll be looking for. So that's one area. Now let's kind of dive a little bit deeper. This is probably one of the most important countries in all of this. I know you've heard a lot about Canada and Mexico, but I'm going to sum it up with just one line. All that matters is China plus 25% because of Venezuelan oil. And what do I mean by that is China already has 20% tariffs. Remember, we were talking about how China could borderline absorb a pretty high tariff rate and it wouldn't have that crazy of an effect. So we're going to find out what happens to China, and this is where it could be very simple too, because if it's really low, if it's less than 20 on China, that's going to be good. This is where China could have something positive happen. Otherwise, though, you got to think about it. If China gets 0 tariffs tomorrow, hypothetically, right? Let's say they find a TikTok deal, whatever, right? But then they still buy literally half of their imports come from Venezuela in terms of oil. They're still going to be tariffed 25%. So this is an important development. Why? Because this is an additional tariff that I don't think a lot of people have factored in. This happened the other day. Donald Trump signed the executive order, said anybody buying Venezuelan oil gets an additional 25% tariff. So although you may think it's about the war in oil, this was really targeted at China indirectly. Why? Because China is one of the biggest buyers of Venezuelan oil. So that's kind of the whole idea here, is that whatever happens with China, the real net tariff rate will be plus 25. And that's where things are going to get interesting. And these are going to be some of the details, or whether or not you find any exemption or anything of that nature. So watch out for that. The other big part now, sectoral tariffs. And you may have heard about this. And what this is talking about is literally the sectors. So this is saying like, well, not only are we going to do everybody who tariffs us, we're now targeting pharmaceuticals, lumber, copper. That's sectoral. So if that's part of tomorrow, believe it or not, is that if he announces we're going to tariff this and this is how we're going to calculate it, this is how we're going to have the exemption. If you're buying Venezuelan oil, you get that on top of it. But then we're going to find out if he wants to add or take away. And this is the key about tomorrow. I have it highlighted here. India, Canada, and even the EU are really tied to this. Why? Because if Trump tomorrow, if he really wants to escalate with these countries, they've kind of been sending shots back. Everyone, they're saying, again, a lot of these countries have already said they're coming together and what they're going to do. You could use sectoral tariffs to add on to the reciprocals. And this is what I'm saying. This is where tomorrow gets complicated, because there's a lot of things that can add or take away. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Hypothetically, let's say they come up with a very simple, you tariff us, we tariff them, right? So you have 20, we tariff you 20, right? Follow with me. Again, that's low-key impossible, but we're not talking about that. I just want an easy example, right? You tariff us, we tariff them. Reciprocals only. Like we're saying, that's what tomorrow is all about, the reciprocals, right? But now, if he announces something on copper, lumber, pharma, that is additional. So again, depending on what they put on the table, and if they say this is going to be, if you do this, you get that. If you do this, you don't. But the fact of the matter is, tomorrow the reciprocals are going to be like the base rate, and we don't know how that's calculated. It's not tit for tat. It's just all of these factors are going to be the add-ons. So there's going to be a lot. It's like upselling. I don't know how to describe it any other way. It's like tomorrow is all about reciprocals, and you tariff us, we tariff you. But a lot of people are missing that there's a lot of these upsells and discounts that are going to be added and taken away. So whatever you get tomorrow about reciprocals, if they choose to take different paths with sectors, that's going to target or favor other nations more or less. And now this is why I'm saying watch out for that tomorrow, because this could either be bullish or bearish. Because if he says we're going to hurt you on reciprocals, but then we'll hook you up if you give us pharma, that may end up being bullish. Or Canada, they may have a low reciprocal tariff, but they have a lot of copper and lumber. He could clap them on that. Same thing, EU and India, they could get clapped on pharma even if they come to a good deal on reciprocals. And that's why I'm saying this is where it could, I don't know. I have no idea, bullish or bearish, but this is what we will be looking for tomorrow to either add or take away. So that's the sectoral element. I'm sure you've heard the word, but now here's some of the good stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready for this one? You may have heard this already. Blanket tariffs. Okay, this is the big one, because right now, all this other stuff, do you guys notice how it's, again, there's going to be a lot of complexity. There's going to be a lot to take and find out bullish or bearish tomorrow, but this topic, this might actually be the easiest one, believe it or not. Blanket tariffs. So it sounds bad, right? Everybody gets tariffed. You're like, oh my gosh, how can that be good? Believe it or not, it's not that bad. So if we find out there is a blanket tariff, everybody gets tariffed minimum 10%, maybe even 15%. Hear me out. That wouldn't be bad for the market. I think the market could handle that and might even stay unchanged, may even go up. I think somebody even forecasted, JP Morgan, that you could go up 2% on the SPY if the blanket tariff is 10% or less. So although it sounds bad, if it's a lower number, the market is already braced for a pretty big impact with this one, ironically enough. But now here's the deal. Are you ready for this? If we come to find out tomorrow that it's a blanket tariff rate of 25% or higher, the market is going to hit a new low. You're going to dump. Will it be the worst reaction? No, but that will add to more volatility. Quite simply, though, here is your number. 35%. So this is a bad scenario for tomorrow. And you got to realize, do you not get it by now? I could give you 20 good scenarios, 20 bad ones. Why? Because you could have two scenarios where reciprocals are good and then no VAT, but then they get screwed on sectoral, right? Or you could have low reciprocal, no sectoral, high blanket tariff, you're screwed. There's so many combinations of good and bad tomorrow. I hope you guys are understanding that. But if we do end up walking away with a blanket tariff rate higher than 35%, I would buy puts and I wouldn't even think about it. That's not a recommendation. You will lose money, but that is a forecast where I think the S&P will sell off 4 or 5%. That would be historically wild, and it would be a historically negative reaction. That would be something that would really upset and disrupt people, at least for a little bit. So that's your number. If you walk away with anything and 48 hours from now, you hear 35% blanket tariff, that's not a good thing. Just go buy a put, not a recommendation. Or just come on stream and talk to me. But at the end of the day, that's the bad reaction. However, If you get 10% or less, my brother in Christ, it's going to go up. Don't underestimate that one as well. Oh, again? Yuliang, baby. 20! Well, thank you, my friend. Way to put the cherry on top to that one. So I hope y'all feeling me. But please, don't forget the other part. Like I'm telling you, if it comes in 10% or lower, you actually could end up going up 2 to 3%. So I hope this helps you out for tomorrow. We're not quite done yet, because here's the final part that I don't think a lot of people have really gave attention to. And again, this is where the combinations get wild. And I hope you guys see that. There is a lot of different combinations that could play out pretty much tomorrow. But now there can be an exchange of tariffs. So make no mistake. That's going to be the other part. When it comes to China, again, if they make a TikTok deal, he could exchange the Venezuela tariff. Yes, so think about that. If you add a more aggressive sectoral tariff on Canada, you could eliminate the auto tariff, or vice versa. You could say, we'll keep the auto tariff and then we won't tariff you on this. So again, this could be good or bad. It's honestly going to be a wild card, because Trump is going to place this on the table. Watch. Periodically, you might hear this with at least one random country. There will be an exchange possibly on the table where, well, tomorrow itself, there's just a lot of combinations. That's why I hope by the end of this, you're not going to be as unprepared, where you should be able to navigate, okay, this is, and then we'll have a day to digest it, or at least one night to go to bed. But you'll be able to pick apart what's good, what's bad, and then we'll see the full picture. But then there's these little factors like this one right here. Literally, this is where he could place specific on-ramps or off-ramps to any countries and say, if you don't do this, we're going to replace that and hit you harder, China. Or if you do this instead, I'll take away that and help you, Canada and Mexico. Yo, Tom! A back-to-back! Dude, I'm not even halfway done with these keys, bro. Actually, I think I am, baby. God bless you. Bless the Chads. You know, I just unbanned everybody. So bless the chat. You guys know that, right, too? I might add right there, you know, at the start of the quarter, we are keeping members only. It's been a good quarter under members only, but I did unban everybody. I showed everybody today as a gesture. Again, no hidden user. I screened. This was in the morning, 5:15 on 8. This is not an April Fool's joke. Oh, wait, you don't see it because of the wire. Yeah, right there. See? So, yeah, don't play with me. Don't play with me, baby. So I love to see it. I hope you get a long term. Make the most of it, baby. Make the most. And then, you don't even have a membership, Tom. That's crazy. Yeah, there you go, Tom. Tom said, wait, I need one. Oh, man. Let's go, baby. Wait, what? Wait, did you, Leon, do another 20? Oh, what? I'm just fucking it up for the recap people, huh? What? And it's fun to say Yu Liang. I don't even know if I'm butchering it. My man, baby. God bless you. Man, God bless you, bro. You already given me good conversations, and you've been locked in, bro. That's one thing. I already appreciate that. So, God bless you, bro. It's one thing to spend time nerding out with me. It's another thing to hit me with the new Chaz, baby. So, God bless you, baby. Amen. Amen. But we got a lot more work to do, Chad. I hope you guys are getting this, and I do hope these last two keys, they started donating on those, and I'm glad, because I think these last two keys are money. These two tomorrow will help you. Blanket tariffs, and then the wild card for tomorrow will be any exchange tariffs. Keep that in mind, okay? And that's it. It's Korean for ghost. Wow, Yuli. Ghost. Ooh, you ever seen that show? I like Ghost, and don't get me started. But now, that is all for tomorrow. So I have a lot more to talk about, actually. So let me ask you really quickly. I don't want to get too distracted, because you guys, someone's going to be like, what the play? Is there any questions about tariffs and everything that we went over? If there's anything you don't understand, want me to dive deeper on, now is your moment unless you want to wait till the end of the video. So I'm going to give you like 10, 20 seconds while I sip some water. Shout out Yu Liang again, and Tom, and Daniel, baby, and Luis. God bless you all, man, for real. So let me, and that's why I'm saying, man, I hope that I could give you guys something, you know? Beyond just good times, I want this info, bro. Like I'm saying, you guys are giving up time. Tell your girl, bro, we eating steak this weekend. You need just one good play with a good risk to reward. That's it, baby. Or protect yourself and don't get trapped, baby. So there it is. Amen. Well, tomorrow it's going to be after the bell. That's the weird part about tomorrow. Okay? No loss to possibility. There will be. Tomorrow we after the market, so the reaction will be on Thursday, really. No other wild cards. You might get new executive orders, but really the other real wild card, that's a great question because I said it earlier. The other wild card is going to be key number one. Is that tomorrow is going to be weird because everyone's expecting the tariffs, but it's going to hit after the bell, right? So think about that. That means every rumor tomorrow is going to be crazy. And I don't want to guarantee it, but I could definitely see a high likelihood of one of them being true, where you might get a slip up or advance notice of one big detail of tomorrow. And you see what I'm saying? We know all the little details. There's all these little areas that could get affected. So that's what I'm talking about, baby. So, amen, baby. Amen. I'm not going to be live all night, but we'll try to stay live tomorrow. Amen. Yeah, they changed the time. It's going to be 4 p.m. That's why I'm saying I think on purpose, so that the reaction is a little weirder and then kind of punted till Thursday. All right, word. So any other questions? If I missed it, let's touch back on it at the end of this. But now we got to talk about today. Today was weird, and why we have to talk about today, because not only do we have tomorrow, the market is weird, uncertainty is high, and mother effers are ignoring everything and looking ahead. So if there is going to be any semblance of a clearing event tomorrow, it will be that right after we get over Thursday, pretty much, everyone's going to be paying attention to the non-farms. And today, you had really weird data. It was very stagflationary. You literally had new orders in growth collapse while prices went up. It's stagflation. But the way the market responded, it didn't give a shit. The bonds and everything were kind of weird, but long story short, tomorrow, and like I'm saying, it's the springboard. It's really focused on uncertainty. So what I just want you to keep an eye out for, and I hope you realize it at this point, I don't know if it's because of Joe Biden and Donald Trump and all of this politics and all that, but like everybody is looking for hot and cold. I think we might need to start getting ready for like in the middle, mother effer. Or we might spend a couple months of in the middle, if that makes any sense. Because the date, again, you're not getting what everybody wants. You know, Democrats want to see Donald Trump fail. Republicans want Donald Trump to literally be King Nebuchadnezzar, whatever you want to call it. And meanwhile, the data is going to just take too long for that to show. Or you might just get this. Even the next thing we got to talk about. Do I have it on here? Yeah. Are you ready for this? Because this is the thing. And this has to go with the data. And I'll just tell you right now. There's a couple things, and I'll show you with some pretty pictures. One, here's the ISM. This is literally the new orders versus the ISM. It's collapsing at a point of 2020. So this is one of those factors where I'm saying, like, today's data, this is very stagflationary. And this is actually leading to the next thing that I want to tell you. Because you'll notice people freaking out. We're worried about tariffs. I'm telling you, although it's going to be complex and there could be a big effect, I don't think this is the big deal, bro. I think there's you guys want to know what I'm going to tell you? I'm mad at this, but not really, because I'm just going to sit back and tell you I told you so. Because, no, bro. Everybody's all of a sudden, hard landing is coming back. But that's bullshit. The hard landing should have already been there. Or it should have been respected more. But now you have the narrative, but everyone's confusing it, in my opinion. Or, I'll tell you what I'm about to tell you, but here's this. Like I'm telling you, that ISM, some of the data, I'm hearing people talk, and literally I'm watching people say, well, we're going to raise prices. And I'm like, dude, no one wants to buy a car right now. What do you mean you're going to raise the price? Again, they're like, houses are going to go up. Bro, the data is getting closer to 2019 than any other year. What do you mean people are going to pay more? What are you saying? So, here's long story short. Now people are respecting the hard landing if you haven't realized it. That's what this chart is showing you. Nomura, 3 months ago, their odds of a hard landing was 17%. Today, it's a 49% chance. Again, about 8 months ago, it was about 5%, right ahead of the flash crash. It's not a trap. I mean, it's just misdirection. Or let me put it this way. Are you ready? I'm going to tell you something big, and that's why I'm saying this is broader. But like I'm telling you, yeah, we're getting tariffs. It's getting a lot of attention, but there will be some stuff that's immediate, some stuff down the road. I'm not worried about that, honestly. And if we're going to talk about something with Donald Trump, you should really just be worried about growth at this point. That's what I'm worried about. And that's the part I don't think, and here's my conclusion. Are you ready? Very simply. Either people are ignorant or they are choosing not to discuss this. And who am I talking about? The big money investors in financial media. Demand destruction. I don't understand what the F is happening right now. So everybody's using this tariff narrative to say prices. I don't like, I think that's nonsense. I think really if you want any real claim, it's tariffs and demand destruction now. That's the issue. Or even whatever response to tariffs, response in anticipation, it's leading to demand destruction. That's why personal income is going up, but spending is going down. That's why ISM is now starting to trigger, and you're getting this weird pull apart with data. If anything, I don't think we should be talking about prices go. I think that's foolish. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense because everyone's implying that prices will go up because and people will accept it. But what happens when prices go up? Demand goes down. The economy is good, but it's not what it was a couple years ago. It's not a bunch of free money, people's wealth effect, their homes, interest rates. It's not the same. So, and yeah, now sentiment is already souring. And like I'm saying, there's data behind this, personal income and some of the other harder points we've been looking at. But everybody is disregarding this. And that's where now in my mind, if you're like tariffs, oh my gosh, Donald Trump, tariffs are going to make prices go up. It's like, no, I wouldn't be scared of that. I'd actually be more scared of demand destruction now as a result of tariffs. That I could get behind. That I will agree with you. But I can't agree with prices going up. That's why these corporations and people, I think it's a last-ditch effort to try to get you to buy shit before demand destructs, or demand doesn't destruct and then everything's fine. You know, and that's the thing, because if the consumer stays up, demand really holds up, then maybe we can absorb it, and that would be good. And that'll be good. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, yeah, like, dude, I've been saying hard landing for a long time, and you should always respect it. And I said, watch out, again, deflation. And oftentimes in deflation, people confuse it. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm like, I hope you get what I'm saying, because if you want me to be scared of Trump, or if you want to be scared of Trump, you shouldn't be. The idea of Trump leading to higher prices, I'm not worried about. Because even if it did, and it didn't lead to demand destruction, that's temporary. I'm going to sound like fucking Powell and tell you it's transitory. I'm more worried about demand destruction now, and then factor that into the credit and everything else and all these other factors that we're seeing. Because now, if demand destructs at this point, with the prices where they're at, we're not talking inflation. We're talking either deflation or stagflation. Both of those outcomes are terrible. So I hope y'all feel me on this, but I think this is a good way to put it, but maybe I'm just early and you'll hear about this, but hopefully you don't get fooled. When it's all said and done, I wouldn't buy anything because someone's telling me tariffs will make it go up. And really the real test in the next couple of months, really by the end of this year, demand destruction. That's it. I think that's really going to be your answer to what is good and bad, amongst other things, But if all of this panic and fear, data, policy, if it hurts demand, again, if these companies raise prices, I don't think people are going to line up. I think people will just buy less. Or if other things happen, they'll buy less. And then that'll change earnings and growth. And then you got to think about it. It's been a while since demand has destructed, and be careful, because if demand destructs, that leads to deflation. Go ask China about that in the last 4 years. So, ta-da! I hope you understand, and I hope you're ready for more. Either way, I'll be here to help, and we will be locked and loaded, and I'm excited for all of this, man. We got a lot on the way, so that is all of the keys, but now let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I'll run over a couple plays real quick, and then we'll go over all the questions in depth, because like I'm saying, we have a lot of things that we need to talk about for tomorrow. But play number 1, straddles. So here's the deal. This is where tomorrow's strategy is going to be weird. Intraday, you could do the straddle. I haven't done it overnight, but let me just tell you this now. Do you guys realize everything I told you in this video, right? And like I'm telling you here, blanket tariffs, higher than 35%, buy puts and don't think. What a claim. What's the problem with that as it relates to the plays? Do you understand what the problem is with that phrase and how to go about playing it? It's not the premiums. No. Believe it or not. No. So the problem is that the option market will be closed when you find out this info. So the premiums will be high if you react on the next day. So no matter what, if you don't play before the event, then you have to play the next day at whatever it opens up to. That could either benefit you or hurt you. Otherwise, if you want to try to make a play on any, this will end up being bullish or bearish, unfortunately, you have to execute those trades the day before, tomorrow. But that being said, intraday with the rumors or tomorrow, I think you're going to get ADP payrolls. We may hear a couple of other things, but even on Friday with the non-farms, bro, these straddles hit. And what I mean is literally, if you wake up in like the calls and puts, you notice that they've came down, or the calls came off the all-time high or the daily high, and then the puts are slashed. I've been playing both ways. I did this in their hitting. I literally bought calls and puts today, right before or after the data, and then literally the put goes up 100%, the calls only go down 30%. And then some of you sold, I should have sold, and then it bounced, and then my call ended up going up 200%, and then the put goes down 50%. Oh, no, that was the other call that went 200%. It ended up going like, I think, 70. Long story short, I walked away with 27%. So it didn't matter, even with the weird swings, just by getting a good premium, noticing I wasn't buying the tops of both, playing at a good time on the day ahead of the events, or like right during it. I did right after on the ISM, or I did right after the day before, if you guys remember. Straddling it, that it's been good. And that way you could kind of hold it a little bit longer without getting chopped around. But now here's the downside. Do not underestimate this. These are only working right now because volatility is high. These are going to fail one day. Okay? What I mean by that is one day when the volatility starts to cool down, you're going to do one of these straddles, and then the call's going to go up, but then the put's going to lose like 50% of its value. And then it'll come down a little bit, and then the call will be up 10%, and then the put's going to be down 70%. And then you're going to be like, what the fuck? This never happened. And that's because the volatility is going to die. So literally, even if we go up a lot or down a lot, if there's no volatility and people chill out and it's slower, again, like the skew, that's what's going to mess this up. All right? So try to be near the money that if you are going to do these at the very least. So that is play number 1. And then play number 2. Are you ready? I will send any big rumors on the stream alerts. I got you, baby. Oh, wait, I had something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, yeah. Stream alerts, bro. Are you ready? I'm about to tell you guys something crazy. Are you ready, stream alerts? I think that you guys should cancel stream alerts. Why? Because we have hit too many plays. So God is good. Finger to the sky. But I'm going to eventually start losing, bro. So just walk away now while everything is up. Okay? You can't say I didn't warn you. Okay? Because I'm just like, bro, I told y'all the harvest is plenty. But, bro, there's been a lot of, it's getting like, I'm suspicious myself. I don't know if, that's why I'm like, nah, bro. That's why, because I'm like, man, there's way too many. I'm telling you, bro, no, there's too many plays. And, like, even the little ones are hitting. I'm selling early. I hit every SPY play today. And then I sold out early. That one still goes up 1,000%. I put it on the stream alerts. It hits. Even if I don't put it on the stream alerts, it's hitting. It's insanity. But that's why I'm saying, no, I understand this. I go on streaks. Just, if you know me, you know me. When I hit, I fucking hit. When I lose, I fucking lose. So I'm just telling you now, you're entering on the hitting streak, okay? So at the end of the day, you better walk away at one point. I'm just telling you right now. Don't get fucking mad at me because you stayed in the casino the whole fucking time. And that's why I'm telling you, there's a win, there's a streak, run it up, but at the end of the day, too, I'm already preparing because one day the streaks will end, my brother. So just don't get it while it lasts. At the very least, put enough away. Make sure you pay yourself, okay? That's all, man. That's all. But that is play number 1. Play number 2 now. I made these plays today. Boeing, RTX, LMT. Nice pullback after the recent executive orders. They're either going to fail after the little pop and drop, and then, or it's either going to just bounce. Only way we lose on these is if it chops for a week and stays in the middle. And what I mean by it, I think the chart will tell you what I mean. And I like Boeing. Again, we hit big on Boeing the other week. I love it. And I'm glad that but do you see how it had like the executive order pop? And then now it's came right back down. They even had bad 737 delay numbers or something today. But it came right back down here. But hopefully you're seeing what I'm talking about. It's either going to flush back down or this will be the reload. Only way you lose is if it like chops around like this. You see what I'm saying? Look, drop, pop, but then if it does this for a week or two, that's how you're going to lose on all these 1 week, 2 week plays, and then it's going to make the big move. Ta-da! So there you go. But that is play number 2. And then finally, play number 3, baby. Oh, Tim, what, man? What up, baby? KWEB. So this is really like I'm telling you a Thursday play because all of these plays, there's some plays that if you know the info, you're probably going to get a gap up. And that's why you should go near the money. So if we have an easy designation on the tariffs and you find out, let's say we find an easy one. Again, blanket tariffs, high or low, or if we find out specific rate or exchange tariff on this country, on-ramp, off-ramp, right? And we know it's easy, go near the money. Why? because chances are the plays will gap up. That's if you're playing the day before, tomorrow. Otherwise, you wait till afterwards, and then why I'm putting China, there will be some rumors tomorrow probably, because China, I'm telling you, it's really important. And then, as long as the tariffs are not as high, I think China's going to do good. So China has a unique scenario where it's not really about them getting tariffed. Even if they get tariffed, it's kind of a good thing. Because, again, as long as it's not a massive escalation, people aren't worried about China. So that's where generally there's more opportunities for China to be positive. Or if you get a TikTok deal, we heard some headlines after the bell, that could be one of those drivers right there. So we'll see, but keep an eye out there. I made a pin to a duo play. There's a weird pop, but that was actually one of the worst plays today. But other than that, I'm going to be riding a couple of different moves, and I think we'll be responding to rumors tomorrow. If there is a live hot rumor, that will be your big trade of the day intraday. Other than that, we set up for the event. And now, my brothers and sisters, you can't say you're not prepared. And that's it. And can I, before I get into any questions, I would love to end today's video with a little philo. And the philo is related to trading, actually. This is like trading psychology. And, you know, I told you the other day, this market is only going to get harder, you know, and I'm glad I've done good. You know, just the other day, we lost on some too. But at the end of the day, man, this stuff isn't easy. But you don't have to give up, okay? And what I mean by this is you have to have discipline. So stop with this bullshit like, oh, it's so hard, I'm giving up now. Oh, it never works my way. Oh, I'm cursed. Oh, maybe I should just go back. No. It's like, and why I'm saying that, because if you got to give it a serious effort before you seriously quit. And what do I mean by that is like, if you really want to trade, give yourself a budget. 10% of your 10%, you'll never go broke trading that. So if you make $1,000 or you make $5,000 a month, you save $500 for your long term. I know it may sound like a dumb amount, but if you trade with $50 a week, a month, and limit yourself to that, you're never going broke off of that. You'll never develop a gambling addiction. You just have a minor scratch-off addiction. That's what I would call it. But what I'm trying to tell you, I'm giving you an extreme example. Why? Because 10% budget management will always protect you. Before you tell me this and that, have you managed a budget and stuck to it strictly for at least 3 months, a quarter? Give yourself a budget, stick to it for 3 months. Tell me what happens. Guess what? You can't lose more than your budget. You understand that, right? So yeah, if you say I only have $2,000, I'm going to put my whole $2,000 in the market. Well, duh. Well, there you go. But if you have $2,000 and say I'm only going to use $1,000 for the next 2 months, there you go. And if you lose it, you lose it. But then go back to the drawing board. But do you see what I'm saying? Budget control. This is how you're going to stay alive and be ready for opportunities, even if you lose. Because that's what a budget means. You use your budget. If it works out, great. You got more. You got your money. If you lose your budget, that means you can't do anything until you get replenished, until you get the next set. That's why I'm saying by sticking to it, it's going to kind of determine your speed. So there's that. And then number 2, put in just a little bit more effort. That's the thing I've also noticed. If you are going to be making trades, bro, especially some people I've seen it, man, like, dude, I see people throw $200, $1,000, $800 on a play. Cool. All I'm saying is if you're going to put that much money down on something or any money on these short-term trades, and then you're going to go back and cry and complain and then say, you know, I'm not this, and then literally get negative, give yourself anxiety, give yourself all this negative thoughts, telling yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, oh, this will never work, and you want to, but like you're not waking up early. Like you don't even have to wake up early, bro. Like literally just like kind of be prepared and know what's going on for the week and the day. Give yourself a 30-minute reading, bro, the day before. You know what I'm saying? But what I've noticed is that I'm watching very like lazy like plays or ideas like being pretty much loosely attached to the market, but then putting big money on it and then getting disappointed when the bigger gambles don't hit. And this is a good thing, bro, because what I'm telling you is that if you just put like a little extra effort into just like preparing and preparation and saying, oh, these are going on. These are the plays that are moving. This is what I'm going to be looking for. This is what I'm expecting. You could just be you could avoid a lot of easy, lazy losses. And I mean that because I'm telling you, there's some things like the VIX, the tariffs, and certain events coming up. These are all stuff you could look ahead for. Again, familiarize yourself with the calendar. Look into the daily calendar. Look into the week. Have a general idea of what's in focus and what's important. Just knowing these things are going to drive you a long way. Or like I'm telling you, it's just going to help you avoid the lazy losses. But like I'm telling you, if you give it a more serious effort, stick to a defined budget, I think this will give you a little bit more than you're looking for. Or if it's all it's do is robbing you, try what I just told you, and I think you'll realize that, okay, there is a way to do this. Or yeah, there is like a area, and it's not as sexy. Like I'm telling you, it doesn't come with all these different things, but you could really find certain opportunities. And again, if the right global events happen, man, you never know. So we'll see what happens, baby. But Chatadonia, that is all that I have prepared. Is there any questions? I will stick around. I'll stick around. We can stick around for a while, a little bit. I do need to eat eventually, but I'm very, very hyped, man. Tomorrow's a big day. It sucks. It's not really tomorrow. It's like Thursday's the big day, bro. It's so interesting, man. So yeah, if you have any questions, you let me know. My gut's telling me that it's a springboard. I think some stuff is going to be very minor. My gut is there's at least one. There's going to be at least one major surprise tomorrow. So I don't know what it's going to come wrapped in or what it will look like, but I'm expecting a major surprise or one of these little factors. It may even be the rumor, to be honest. That's why I was telling you. It may be. I think that something is going to leak concrete ahead of the event. I think that might be it. I'm just guessing, so I have no idea. Last time I said this, I was right on the money, but I'll make no guarantee or accuracy or warranties of this. I'm just guessing. So, yeah. That's what my gut is telling me. But fuck my gut. My gut, I fucking shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, the gut is unreliable. The heart is wicked. So all we could do is prepare. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm prepared, though. That's it. My gut, like, I got bubble guts, but I'm prepared. You see, I got baby wipes. I got a diaper. I got a new set of clothes. I got a tank top and a bathing suit. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I can't trust the gut, but I'm prepared. We know every which way this could turn. And just like the CPI, you guys, that's always, I would call it a superpower to a degree, is that, sometimes we're really, really accurate on things and like, whoa, we knew it was coming. But make no mistake, bro, there is no honor in the stock market, okay? No one, literally, there is zero honor in the stock market, okay? If we're wrong, pivot right away. I have no shame in that. And that's kind of the beauty. That's why I'm saying by being prepared and knowing every which way, I'm not married to being right. Because just like every Fed day, there's some Fed days we knock it out of the park. We see it from a mile away. Every prediction is accurate. There's other Fed days I'm completely wrong, and guess what? We still make a big play and hit. Why? Because in the moment, we take the info, and then we react and pivot. Yeah, better late than wrong, baby. So sometimes we're just late, and that's fine. And that's where I'm saying, as we move through this, just keep that in mind where it's like, tomorrow, that's the opportunity these next couple of days is, one, we will be prepared with a lot of things, but two, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to pivot. there's going to be a lot of opportunities that anything we miss, I'm sure we'll be able to tag along quickly. I might have to go futures for tomorrow, pretty much after hours. That's like I'm telling you, if there's 35% tariff, all of that stuff, the only way we can really like do it is futures. That's the only way. That's the only problem. Otherwise, options, you are limited to, you lock in the options and then you're at the mercy of whatever is announced. But yeah, futures, I would have those locked and loaded for tomorrow around 4 p.m. Again, 4 p.m. Eastern. You could do oceans, but we'll see. Again, he's going to speak at 4, so I don't know if they'll sign it ahead of time or not, but that's going to be part of the wild card tomorrow. Whatever rumors happen, and then what gets announced ahead of it, is it accurate or not? And then when does it get signed? And then do we hear about the signing? And then is the live just a show? So again, there's a lot riding on it. Oh, appreciate the honesty. Hey man, I appreciate those of you who've allowed a good environment to allow this. You know that I'm a weird individual. I say a lot of things, but it's good to have good like-minded individuals, and you don't have to always agree with me. Shout out to Nassim Talib. He tweeted it the other day, and it was something along the lines of like, arguments and critics, and there's a difference between like naturally like coming to disagreements and like manufactured disagreements. So let me find it for you. I love Nassim Talib. If you don't know that, that's the guy who coined the term Black Swan. One of the greats, actually. Yeah, arguments take two forms: authentic and reverse engineered. Authentic arguments emerge naturally from the situation itself. Reverse engineered ones are constructed backward, designed to serve a pre-existing urge to discredit or harm an antagonist. The first kind has a few degrees of freedoms. The second is highly dimensional. Find me the person, I'll find the crime. That's what I'm saying, man. I love genuine curiosity. If you are genuinely looking for answers, you see what I'm saying? And we're genuinely like, I agree, I disagree. Oh, this is what I love that. I will never reject that. But the manufactured kind, cap, bullshit. So yeah, that's why I'm saying, man, I love those of you who are curious, man. Stay curious, and thank you as well. Because this is it, man. Y'all nerding out with me right now. It's a big day, though, man. It's going to be a big 48 hours, 72. It's only Tuesday. But yeah, man, so tomorrow's going to be the weird pregame to all of it. And then you get after the bell. Then the Thursday will be the full reaction, a little bit more data. And then Friday you get the non-farm. So that is your full schedule. You sent me an email on a car. Well, all right, let's see, man. But the best car deals right now, Tesla Model 3 lease, and then Jeep 4xe. It's actually crazy. Oh, you want to buy it? Who are you buying it from? Are you buying it from like a used car dealer? I don't like that. Let me go check Tesla first. This was the OG video I made years ago. So look, before, and you know why? Because when you buy it from Tesla, it comes with a bunch of free shit. Oh shit. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. What's your zip code? Some sketchy car dealer? Yeah, that's not a good idea. 33404. All right. So what is it? 2023 Model 3 with 77,000 miles. What's the price? $16,000. That's very cheap. But let's go by year. So the cheapest one from Tesla is $25,000, but it's half the mileage. So, yeah, rear-wheel drive. I don't know the options and how these stack up. But this one doesn't even have the new inside. Honestly, do you need a car right now? Because I would just wait. Because these are going to lose more value. This is a better I'd rather pay, it's like what? I guess 20% more, but 50% less miles. But you're buying the non-updated version. So the new ones are already going to make those not hold value as good. So unless you need a car right now, I don't know about that one. Because that's still going to be a lot, I feel like, on the payment. You were just watching the lease video. Well, dude, that's why I'm saying, bro. This is another thing to what I'm talking about with demand destruction. Because, bro, dude, this is wild. You literally, I'm just starting to see some of the best car deals I've seen in years. So now they're like, oh, we have to raise prices. I'm like, bro, people aren't even buying cars now to the point that lease deals have came back. Isn't that so? That's why I'm saying, bro, it's very wild. But if you could wait, bro, I think you might. I'm already seeing some of these good deals already. But yeah, unless you need it, then yeah. And yes, Daniel is correct. I'm Egyptian. I am a Middle Easterner. And the kalam Arabi, habibi. And the ifham Arabi kwayis. Kalim shwaya shwaya, habibi. Shwaya shwaya. You invited him over for Liberation Day tomorrow. Wow. Well, you might have to show him Thursday, though. Because that's the thing. Tomorrow's going to be excited, but like I've been saying here, the real reaction is going to be on, like, Thursday. And straight up, it's going to be like, there's going to be a lot of tension tomorrow. But like I'm saying, if we get hold of a rumor, tomorrow goes crazy. It might be very, very wild. With tariffs, you'll see some dealer discounts. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're saying raise the price now, but I think if the demand doesn't show up, it'll go from we're raising prices because of tariffs to we're lowering them. Yeah, the lease is better, but if you drive a lot, you can't do it. But then again, if you don't drive a lot, a lease makes sense, especially since it's an EV. You could get the brand new Tesla refresh. It's $299, bro. $1,500 down. It's the best deal I've ever seen. It's a $50,000 or $40,000 car. It's actually insane. I've never seen a Tesla go that cheap. So Elon's desperate, bro. Sales are down. I think that's why they're doing it. That's why I check the used inventory right away. Elon needs to make sales, and if you want one, that's the best car deal I've seen. It's a Model 3 for $250 or $299 a month. It's a brand new, the newest model. It's insane. $250 on a $40,000 MSRP. That's very low. That's what I'm saying. The other one is the Jeep 4xe Wrangler. It's electric too, but that one's $250 a month as well. A Jeep Wrangler for $200 is crazy. $250 a month is nuts. So yeah, would you sell your car and get a leased one? There's advantages and disadvantages. Like if you drive a lot, no, because a lease will kill you if you drive a lot. But then again, if you already have a car that's like paid off and no payments, I mean that's a great money stacker. Because leases are nice because you get a new car and you don't have to deal with much maintenance, but you never really own anything. I like lease deals. I'm just a weirdo, and I love cars, and I got into finding deals my whole life. But at one point in my life, I just discovered like lease deals, and what they are is like it's like these little tricks, and every so often promotions. It's like coupon clipping for cars. And then, like, the right situation happens, you could just get a really nice car for really cheap. And sometimes it's worth it. Or, again, if you are a business, you don't drive a lot, you need a certain car for a certain function, then ends up being very, very good. Because, like I'm saying, at one point, bro, there was like a lease hack like with BMWs at one point. This was before the pandemic. They had so many like of these little coupons. You could have got $150,000 BMW for the same payment as like a $60,000 car. It was insane. That's what I was saying. I was getting Benzes. You could get a Benz. You could get an S-Class for the price of a C-Class. You could do all these crazy things every so often. It's all financing money tricks and then promotions. So that's what I'm saying. Like Tesla, the EV credit, and Elon struggling. They're offering very aggressive financing terms that create a really good deal. Same thing with the Jeep. If it's cheap enough, I'm down with it. EV secondary. So I'm saying you get one of these ones for $200 a month. I mean, literally, we're talking what? If it's a 24-month lease, $250 a month, it's gonna be like what, $3,000 a year. You're gonna spend $6,000 for 2 years. You don't own anything, but then you'll have a brand new vehicle that you could put 20,000 miles on. That's essentially what's being offered. If it's the right price, depending on the car and what you'll use it for, 20,000 miles, 2 years, you're going to spend like $6,000. Do you get enough utility out of that? It just all depends. Some people that's a good deal, some people that's bad. Because again, you could also buy a fucking Honda for $6,000 and that's it. Your only payment is maintenance whenever you have that. All right. So I'll stay around for a little, but let me do this. I'm going to play you guys a track, and then I'm going to go put my food in the microwave, and then I'll come back. How does that sound? Sound good? Good. All right. See you in a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? But if you blessed enough to have a dream, chase it, bro.
I had a dream like Martin, then I heard a couple stories. Never met my heroes, never had one. Never wanted things I never had, son. I got it, then I grabbed them. Looking back, these bitches Southeast sad them. Good more, don't ignore your sword for the war. Armor's no good if you leave that shit at home. I don't care if that match up with the drum. I ain't young, I ain't care about looking dumb. Out my way, we could talk when I'm done. Does it look like I'm finished? Even if I was, dog, I do my own dishes. Why the fuck you in my business? I ain't tryna be a menace. Need a couple minutes, but you're talking in your bitch and just show me that you don't get it. Look, now I wasted your time trying to reprimand, explain the basic shit so you could understand. I ain't being mean the way I teach. The big leagues ain't throwing underhand. Not the bad guy, I'm the best coach that you ever had. Something like LaMelo's dad. Mama was an immigrant, $5 an hour working with Brillo pads. We got some things we shouldn't have, so I could feel down, but I don't ever think I'm really sad. Life a miracle, but I won't give you one. But I could teach you shit, and you'll walk away with dividends. Wish you'll buy more, and then you'll wish you did it young. You missed the first harvest, but tell me about the second one. Trying to build while looking at the clouds. I'm looking at my hand, then I'm looking at the ground. Peter walked on water, but fell. When he looked around, I heard that story all my life. I think I start to get it now. Slow in the fast lane, answers in my last name. They really didn't listen, that's a damn shame. But that don't mean my plans changed. Maybe just the landscape did what I said without a handshake. 3,004 an ounce, that sound like a fair rate. Word is gold, they only kept theirs too late. So I'm on with your new face. A snake can move a few ways. And life a bitch that lava how the fruit tastes.
Hey man, bro, what is? I hear what's a Boston? Is there something that happened in Boston? I see. I looked over. I'm looking at the new. We were locked into Tariffs right there, bro. So hold on. What happened in Boston? How old is this? 6 hours. No, yeah, Chuck. Oh, 8 hours ago. Oh, that's old. Yeah. Nobody made a tariff coin. No, I think the era of like tariff shit, they're like coins. That's it. Until it pumps again. You know, you got 4 more years, but for now, I mean, look at the stock market, man. People are uncertain. That's it. You're not getting the craziness. And I mean, that being said, I think now is a good time. I don't think we could end today without doing it. Do you guys realize it's the first of the month? So here's the deal. The long term, baby. The long term. Not bad. So this is the 1 year. Still year to date. We're looking good, baby. We're looking good. So it's at 238 with the close and or with the deposit now. So we're going to be right back up there. We lost a little bit in March. But generally, I think it was a very, very good quarter. And again, we're still in the lead now. So that's great. We got a lot of dividends today. And then $8,900 in cash. Let me go to the other one. Well, let's see. Good night, baby. Good night, baby. Have a good night rest. Yes. And then here's this small account, which is big now. It's kind of offensive to call it the small account. But at one point, this was $500. Little by little, he grew. He grew. Total. Wait, what? Why does this only have... Oh, the deposit hasn't hit yet then. Because I'm like, why doesn't this have $800 in cash? Boo. So, yeah. But it's going to be about 3.7. It's not bad, but do you see cash is climbing up? After one more deposit, it'll be up here. So, depending on what we want to do, I think we'll get a little bit more flexibility, but that's it. We have 1 quarter of cash stacked up. We used our deposit. We used January, but since we get the deposit at the beginning of the month, you have 3 deposits or just under that sitting there. So, yeah, the cash will be good. And even either way, though, it's nice to have it there. You know, it's nice stability. And that way, too, in the last, month or so, the money wasn't deployed. So if we deployed it the wrong way, it would have dragged the portfolio, could have added to it. But we haven't really had a stable cash position in over a year and a half. So this is new. And like we talked about last night, you know, even today, there's a lot of opportunity and temptation. And I hope you let your portfolio speak to you. Again, if you're at the bottom with cash, I mean, nothing should be rushing you. If your cash is at the top, then yeah, you might, again, NVO, UPS, Pfizer, Nike, Target, Home Depot even, damn it. There's so many names that are just doing great, man. So I like cash, and this is good to have because I'm still itsy bitsy, but I hope, though, too, you know, take advantage of all these opportunities, and we're probably going to get a lot more. So, but I'm excited for whatever this long term does. And again, our dividends are already growing a little bit too, but we haven't done anything with it. But yeah, if you have any more long terms, you let me know. You let me know. Any questions? Long term tariff day. Otherwise, I gotta get the food, man. Thanks for taking us through it. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you listened. You know, that way you didn't have to resent me or make it weird. You know, now you're outperforming, baby. Let's get it. And we got a long way to go. Talked about getting ready, man. Don't be disappointed. This wasn't the hard part. The hard part is what you do from here. Telling you, everybody was my friend when Snapchat and every stock went up. What really separated people, the good and the bad, grow at the same time. Those of you who are going to last and not, it's going to be how you handle the next move. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was already hard to get the plays, but not really. Now the thing is, what happens when you suffer disappointment? What are you going to do now after you outperform, and then what gets thrown your way? You see, this is where you got to keep going. You have to still head on a swivel. Still be disciplined. Do not let your guard down, because the journey is not over. That's what I'm saying. Everyone likes the journey when it's nice weather. But I do want you guys to think about this, because if you prepare for this now, you don't set your expectations too high, you're not going to get emotional down the road. You're gonna be able to react a lot better. So take advantage of that. I think you'll be good to go. But amen. What Proverbs New Living Translation? Oh, I didn't know there's multiple. I just read it on the Bible app. If you're going to buy a Bible, buy the Oxford Study Bible. I don't know. It's intense, but it has good annotations. It's in like a weird King James version, but it's kind of easy to read. And if you want New Living Translation, I didn't know there's multiple. I just get the one from the YouVersion Bible app. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're here for it, but just get ready, because I don't know, man, how many times I've given you guys the warnings, and it's funny because I laugh at this, honestly. How many of you remember this? The year was, I think it was 2023. Where was it? See, so remember we had to move to TD Ameritrade. So we moved this one to Fidelity. I think it was here, bro. I think it was March of 24. Or like June, I think. It was one of these. It was here or here. I think it was right here, to be honest with you. No, it was right before the flash crash. But do you remember? I remember looking at the long term. And, remember, we just tracked with the market last year. We went up with everything else. We had good plays, but do you remember we were, going up, and I was reminding y'all, and I was like, hey, guys, just don't forget, this isn't going to last forever. And I kept reminding you, I was like, hey, guys, because every day we were just waking up. The long term was going up. Your meta was going, everything, bro. It was just killing it. And that was, again, now we're even outperforming, but that's why I'm saying, ironically enough, it feels like it just keeps going. But almost about a year ago, I was just saying we kept doing a melt up. And I was just saying, just don't forget, there is going to be a time where your long term doesn't do as good. There's a time where it will do really good. There's a time where it's not going to do good. But make sure you're ready and prepared for that. And that's what I'm saying. Don't take too much pleasure in good or bad, and you just vibe, because that's what I'm saying here. For now, take your outperformance, but let's see what happens next. And nothing is guaranteed. The market doesn't owe you anything. Don't let your emotions change the plan that got you here. I'm telling you, Uncle says it, man. The easy part, getting rich is easy. To a degree, it's kind of staying alive in the meantime, and it's everything else. I'm telling you, bro, I don't mean to do this, but I do think this is reality. It's not hard to buy anything. The hard part is following through with the plan, bro. How many people in here how many people bought Meta? At 90. Some people sold it still. Some people held it. Same with Netflix. There was a couple, but again, the reality is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. If you think we got through the hard part, make no mistake, you didn't. Because what's going to happen now, everything you think you know will get put to the test. Eventually, we got to put your whole portfolio through fire and see if you're really going to stick to 10 years. See if you're really going to You think it's only if it goes down? Will you hold if it goes up? What are you going to do if now you're like, oh, but this, and yeah, I thought about this, but now Donald Trump did this, and now this is happening. That's the hard part, dude. That's why I'm telling you, it's not when this, now in your mind, you're like, oh, I got all this money. What happens when that down payment gets cut in half? What happens when you're like, oh, it went from down payment to now half payment? Or now you're like, I don't know, it's going too much. And you're like, no, I remember last time I got killed. I should sell out now and violate every rule. You feel me? So get ready. I'm telling you this, not to shame anybody, not to scare you, but this is the beauty of words in communication. This is what they call awareness, you know? Because if we know it, again, this shouldn't be an elephant in the room. This shouldn't be a monster under the bed. You get what I'm saying? I want you ready for it. If you know what's going to happen, if your expectations are tempered, you are going to be less vulnerable to manipulation. You are going to be less vulnerable to a lot of reactions and disappointment. You will just be less emotional. That's it. So all you got to do, baby. But let's get through it. We'll ride through it at each zone. And remember, man, everybody, you're going to have a different time. So ride through it and remember the Sectoral. But Chatadonia, get your ass a long-term, baby. Let's bring it home. But I love you all. I will wrap it up there. Have a great sleep tonight. I will see you for Liberation Day. And what's Liberation Day if we didn't have the veterans, huh? Right? Thank you to the veterans, baby. God bless you all. And all of this is worthless because there's more than just life, my friends. Oh, yeah, you're human. You know that? You're an amazing, amazing human. Your species is so special. Look around, brother. And that's why, man, that's it. We're the only ones who come up with these crazy ideas. There's something bigger. Why, baby, why? You know, finger to the sky. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. A great sleep. You are blessed. And I'll see you in the morning, baby. I'll see you in the morning, baby. But God bless you, Chad. Peace out. Or not.